Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Serein. Thank you for stopping by. So today's video is Makeup Bag Monday, week number 54. Last week I announced the return of Makeup Bag Monday and you guys were really excited. It's essentially where I rotate my makeup collection with new products or forgotten products, because I do have a lot of products. I test it out for a full week and I check back every week with my in-depth review, swatches, and application of using these products after an entire week. I let you know what I really think about these products. Some of them I did first impressions, but after using it a week, my thoughts might change, and some products I might rediscover and love or realize I don't love it anymore and I should pass it on, get rid of it, and make room for new things. If you want to find out what I thought of last week's products, then just keep on watching. But if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on that post notification so hopefully every new video I upload will show up in your subscription feed or your notification feed. And I upload new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays. I know a lot of you guys were curious about what I thought about the Burt'S Goddess Glow Liquid Makeup Foundation when I used it for an entire week. I did do an entire full face using Burt'S makeup. I was pretty impressed with a lot of the products, but I was curious to see how this foundation wore if I had to use it for an entire week. And I have to be honest, there's some pros and there's some cons. The pros, like I mentioned in that first impression review video with the wear test, is that the makeup is very, very clean and still affordable. It's very rare to find clean and ethically sourced and environmentally conscious brands available at drugstores. And Burt'S, while might be a couple dollars more than your typical drugstore brand, is able to bring that to you guys at mass market. So I appreciate that. I love that they got rid of silicones, parabens, mineral oils, petrochemicals, synthetic fragrances, all of those things that can irritate your skin and that's really not that great for us to be using every single day on our faces or our bodies. In that sense, I love that they're doing their best to create a clean product available for mass market. Now, to be completely honest, the last week or so, my skin has been really acting up. I've had really, really dry, dehydrated patches all over my face. It was really red and irritated. I really think my skin just had it with me testing out so many different things. So when I tried to cover all of that patchiness, all of the redness, and a lot of the textural issues I had with this foundation, it just didn't work. Now, today my skin's doing a lot better and it's been about a week since I had the flare up. So I'm wearing the foundation right now and it looks fine. If you have textural issues, if you have really, really dry skin, this foundation might be very difficult for you to work with. You're definitely going to have to prep your skin. You should always prep your skin with your skincare, but you might have to do extra work for this to work. And you'll probably need to find some sort of a really great hydrating primer for it to not show and cling to all of your dry patches. My favorite way to apply this is by using a brush to kind of spatula it onto my face in the areas that I want to target the coverage and blend it out with a damp beauty blender. I feel like I get the most even coverage that way. I get the most flawless coverage that way. I feel like the shade range is also pretty decent for it being clean, new, and available at the drugstore. I love the packaging because it is recyclable and it is made from recyclable products, and the pump is really hygienic, so it's rare to find a pump foundation at the drugstores as well. Overall, I think that it's a decent foundation, but if you're looking for something that's full coverage, this will not be the foundation for you. I don't need it to be full coverage, but I do need to be able to build it up on my trouble days, and this is not something that's going to be able to be built up too much without it starting to like flake off or kind of move around a bit. And if you have textural issues, specifically dryness, this is not going to be the best product for you, unfortunately. Now, in terms of what's clean and safe to use available at the drugstore easily, definitely check this out. If you have pretty decent skin and you're a little bit more on the normal to oily side or normal to slightly dry, you'll be totally fine with this foundation, especially if you like a natural finish, lightweight coverage, maybe build up to a medium. But if you're looking for full coverage and a lot of skin texture issues or redness or discoloration, you might need to keep looking. Revisit is my Glossier Stretch Concealer. This has been a favorite since it launched over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now at this point, and I'm in the shade medium. This concealer is very, very emollient. And what I mean by that is that it's very radiant, it's very luminous, and it's going to be very glossy. It's beautiful under the eyes, it's beautiful all over your face, especially if you're going for that Glossier look. And that means like beautiful, glowy, dewy skin. Shine is okay. You'll love this. It's very buildable on top of that. Now, if you're using it under your eyes, definitely set it with some sort of a translucent powder. You won't get that powdery look because it is so emollient, but you want to set this in the areas that your skin is going to typically let product move. And for me, that's under my eyes and around my nose. So those are the areas that if I use this, I'm going to set it immediately. Still love how natural it is. It's very buildable and it's very effortless. I get a lot of questions comparing the Glossier Stretch Concealer and the RMS Uncover Up. The RMS Uncover Up is my ride or die. Glossier was actually the one I discovered first, and I love it as well. Now, the reason I love the RMS one and I travel with that one a little bit more than the Glossier one is because the RMS one, while it is radiant and natural finish and buildable just like the Glossier, it's a little bit more of a demi-matte. It's not matte, but it's not as radiant as the Glossier one. The RMS one, I can get away with not setting it on my face. I still will set it under my eyes, and I can get away with building it up even to more of a coverage. So if I didn't bring a foundation, but I need something on my face, the RMS one is going to give me more coverage quicker, whereas the Glossier one, I'm gonna have to build, build, build. Love both of them. If you're on the drier side, I think you're going to really enjoy the Glossier Stretch Concealer. If you like that dewy, radiant look and that skin is in like sheer coverage, you'll really love the Glossier one. If you're looking for a little bit more coverage and a little bit more of a matte finish, you'll go for the RMS Uncover Up. It's by no means matte, but it's just more, it's got a little bit more of that natural finish versus glowy finish. In terms of ingredients, RMS is a little bit cleaner than the Glossier one. There's nothing toxic in the Glossier one that I can really read, but the RMS one is definitely a lot cleaner. I don't even think they use any silicones in the RMS one. Those are my thoughts between the two, and this is still a favorite. I really missed it. I don't know why I forgot about it, probably because the RMS one lives in my everyday bag. So I definitely need to pull this one out a lot more because I just feel younger and fresher when I use the Glossier Stretch Concealer. Oh, and if you've never tried anything from Glossier, I am a Glossier rep, which means if you shop through my site, which is just glossier.com/reps/Serein, and it's always linked in the description box, you can get 20% off your first purchase. So if you've been wanting to try a lot of Glossier products, I definitely recommend you do a big purchase so you get that 20% off, which is very, very rare for them to offer that. So if you shop through my link, you get free shipping on $30 or more. Always. If you have questions about any Glossier products, I have a ton of reviews on everything that's come out, except for the solution because I'm still needing to test that one out. You can go to my channel main page. There's a little monocle. Click that and type in Glossier, and all of my videos on my channel that refer to Glossier will pop up and will be easy for you to reference in terms of product recommendations and reviews. The bronzer I was testing out is from Hourglass, and this is the Nude Bronze Light. It's their ambient lighting bronzer. What I love about this bronzer is that it is almost the non-existent bronzer, which is perfect for someone like me who tends to have a lot of textural issues right here, and that's where product pills up and catches, and it's really hard for me to contour. It's really hard for me to use bronzers a lot of the times because it just sticks there. But the Hourglass bronzers are really effortless, they're really easy to use, and it is foolproof. I like to use a fluffy angled brush and just apply it on my cheeks, just underneath my cheeks, on my jawline, all over my face, to give it a little bit more warmth and a little more life. It's a really beautiful product. There's a lot of different varieties of shades. My go-to is the Nude Bronze Light because it is so effortless and sheer. Now, if you want something a lot more pigmented, this isn't the product for you, obviously, but if you want something that's very effortless and natural and easy to use, you can probably put this on without a mirror and it'll still look beautiful. Definitely check out the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzers. A new to me mascara that I was testing out is the Maybelline Total Temptation Mascara. I got this in the mail, and Melissa, who I just did did a collab with for January favorites was wearing this mascara, and it also made it to her favorites. So I was like, okay, I need to rotate this mascara in ASAP because her lashes looked phenomenal. Now she definitely has a lot longer lashes than I do, but I felt like this mascara really added volume and length to my lashes. I wish it held a curl a little bit better, but it's not bad. It didn't just make my curl fall, it just kind of weight it just a little bit. And I love the formula because it's not overly wet. You know, sometimes when you open a new mascara, it can be very, very wet and you almost have to like let it get old before it works properly. This one is perfect right out of the tube, and it has the traditional spoolie, which I really enjoy in my mascaras. Didn't have any smudging or fallout or anything like that, so I had no issues with it. And I'm sure if I wanted my curl to last longer, I can test out the waterproof version because waterproof tends to hold curls longer. I just personally hate waterproof mascaras because I can never get it out of my lashes, and I always feel like I'm losing lashes as I'm trying to remove the waterproof mascaras. But overall, enjoyed this mascara, and I definitely think it's worth a try, and it's affordable, available at the drugstores, so way to go, Maybelline. The eyeshadow palette I was testing out for the week is the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne collaboration. This is the Daydream eyeshadow palette, and I felt like when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is such a beautiful matte spring shadow palette. And it really is beautiful, and I was very impressed with the pigmentation. You'll see that I'm using a brush to swatch these eyeshadows, and I am shocked at how pigmented these matte shadows are, because matte shadows are the hardest to make pigmented and consistent without being choppy, overly powdery, or flaky. So I really, really enjoyed the consistency of this. Now, the palette itself, I felt was a little bit lacking for an all-in-one palette, but that's not what this palette was meant for, so I'm okay with that. If you guys were looking at this palette because you're a fan of Kristen Leanne, then I think you'll really enjoy it. The consistency, the formulation, the color payoff, everything's really great about it, and the colors are really fun. I'm wearing it today on my eyes. I just felt like if you weren't a fan, this might not be a palette that you necessarily would reach for or pick up enough. I know I personally am not going to be reaching for this palette all the time because I would want a couple shimmers and I would want a couple more varieties. I felt like the shade Daydream and Subscribe was very, very similar to each other, and I swatch it and you can see that it's different, but it's almost the same at the same time. So it just felt like I'd rather have had a different shade than having two of this ones so close to each other. That's one of my concerns and issues with the palette. But overall, formulation is fine. If you like the shadows, if you like these colors, then you won't have a problem with it. The final product I have from last week to review for you is the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne collab Beauty Beam Highlight Palette. And when I initially saw this and when I initially swatched it with my fingers, this was gorgeous. You'll see in the swatches when I try to use my highlight brush, it just wasn't giving me the payoff I needed from my powder highlight. Now, I don't want a crazy strobe effect. I don't want a crazy glittery effect or anything like that by any means. But I felt like the consistency between swatching it with my fingers and swatching it with a brush was just a little too different. And I'm wearing it today, and you can kind of see it, and it's really subtle, and it's really pretty. But I just felt like I needed a little bit more because I did have to build this up quite a bit to even get this effect. Now, this palette as an eyeshadow is beautiful because when you use a flat, more precise brush, it's gorgeous on the inner corners, it's gorgeous on the top of your lid. It is really, really, really beautiful in that way. But as a highlight palette, I felt it was a little bit lacking. And I hate saying that because I want to support every collab that any content creator puts out with a brand. But I don't know if I wasn't supporting Kristen Leanne that I would pick this palette up, or that I feel like somebody who wanted to pick it up in support would find that it was as worth it. If you want to pick this up though to use with the Daydreamer eyeshadow palette, I think it makes a really good combo together because you can really create some beautiful eye looks with the two palettes together. So if you bought the collection and you want to make it work, you definitely can make it work. I might get a lot of hate for saying, but yeah, I think the eyeshadow quality is way better than the highlight palette quality. So that's everything that I was testing out for the last Makeup Bag Monday, and I'm going to share with you the new products I will be testing out for the upcoming week. I I have the Kristen Dominique Latte palette, and this is absolutely stunning. I've already used it a couple times, and so far, so good. Love that each pan is relatively huge. Just kidding, it's huge. It's definitely bigger than your typical eyeshadow pans. I can't wait to test this out a little bit more and check back next week for my final thoughts and swatches. A new foundation slash full coverage moisturizer I'll be testing out is from It Cosmetics. This is their new Bye Bye Foundation Full Coverage Moisturizer. I have two shades that I think I'm in between. I have neutral, medium, and then light. Becca launched this new under eye primer, so it's supposed to be anti-fatigue, and I thought this was really interesting, and it's blue, which is very different because typically under eyes are pink, but we'll see how this works. And then of course I'm going to pull out the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This is not new, but I definitely want to see how it works with the anti-fatigue. And I think this is new. This was sent to me. I hadn't seen this at Sephora before. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder, so I'm going to use this as well. This is supposed to be very finely milled, no flashback, so I thought, why not just do all under eyes with Becca this week? The final product I'll be testing out for the week is the new MAC Hyper Real Glow. This is a gorgeous highlight palette. They came out with two different palettes. This one I am a little bit more drawn to, so I'm going to try this one out. It's a little bit more on the cooler tone. The other one is definitely very, very warm, and I share that with you in New and Beauty coming up on Thursday. So that is everything for Makeup Bag Monday, week number 54. If you guys want to catch up on any of the Makeup Bag Mondays, there is a playlist on my channel main page as well as in the playlist section, and you can just catch up from there. I've gone back and labeled all of the Makeup Bag Mondays by their numbers, so this way you can check and see which numbers and which week we're at. So this way you know where you left off. As always, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section to say hi, what you enjoyed. If you test out any of these products, or if you've been wanting to, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well. It's a great place for us to communicate and also share in the community, because I know my opinion is just my opinion, but I love to hear yours, and someone else who might have your skin type could really use your opinion as well if they're shopping, and vice versa. So let's all communicate down there. Check me out on my Facebook page, and if you haven't checked out By Serein February issue, it's my interactive digital magazine. If you enjoy beauty, if you enjoy lifestyle and fashion, but mainly beauty, definitely check out the digital magazine. It's completely interactive. There's 70 pages for February with 15 exclusive videos all about self-care and self-love for the month, and I'm just really proud of February's issue. And any subscriber of the magazine gets to join the private Facebook group for By Serein, where we will do Facebook Lives. Everybody can ask each other questions, get to know each other. It's just a wonderful extension of this community over there. Start doing shout outs for my viewers. So if you want to be shouted out, if you want to shout out within my videos, check out the description box and stay tuned for that little fun thing that we're going to be doing. As always, I hope my videos help motivate and inspire you to look and feel your best from the outside in. I know when I look and feel my best, I'm a lot more capable at dealing with whatever life has to throw at me. And if that speaks to you, I'm really happy you found this channel. If anything, I just hope my video helped you unwind, de-stress, take your mind off of whatever it was you needed help taking your mind off of. That's why I watch YouTube videos, and that's why I make these videos for you. So until next time, I'll see you guys right back here on Thursday for a New and Beauty for February that's going to have an epic giveaway. Not epic, big giveaway. I just did my epic giveaway. So every month I do a giant bag of goodies to give one lucky winner who's a subscriber. So just check that out on Thursday, and I'll see you guys right back here. Bye!